Good morning, Warren County. I'm your host of the show, Kelly Walker Slaughter, and it is a chilly and breezy morning. And of course, as we all know, let me refresh this right quick. Again, I have a special in studio guest with me today. I have the one, the only, the man of on everybody's mind this season, which of course is Santa Claus. He's going to be on the show with me this morning and talking all about, and I'm going to ask him some hard hitting questions too this morning, guys, because I would really like to know a lot of things that is going on in his world and more. But first off, getting into it, this has been updated since 6:33 this morning, and I just want everybody to make sure they know what's going on. For school delays and closings, these schools are opening 2 hours late today. If you didn't know it already, Warren County, Cannon County, DeKalb County, and FC Boyd Christian schools are opening up 2 hours late. Now, White County and Van Buren County are closed for today. And of course, if you did see the announcements, from either the Warren County school system, if you don't get them, you can always follow them on the Warren County school system's Facebook and Instagram page, because yesterday they did make an announcement which just pretty much said Warren County schools will operate 2 hour delay on Tuesday, December the 3rd. But if there was a closure, should become necessary, they were going to let us know by 7 a.m. this morning. And if you didn't hear anything, of course, schools are going on as planned with the 2 hour delay. Followed by that, a lot of people called me and asked me about Covenant Academy. So I got in touch with their headmaster. And so the message from Headmaster Lewis was Covenant Academy schools will be opening on time today. That is in the McMinnville Morrison area, just so in case we got all the other Covenant schools watching. But again, that is all the schools that I've been aware of, that I've found out, and I've found on the internet and such. I do know like News Channel 2 and 5. I don't know if they were having some computer issues, but I did notice that they still didn't even post about Warren County being open or, being closed for a 2 hour delay. So, again, just be cautious, be wary. I mean, maybe certain areas got worse than others. I do not know. Um, but I will tell you that coming in from the Sheldsford Road area to over here to even going on the interstate, taking my son to Covenant this morning, I will tell each and every one of you guys, the roads to me where I drove today, they look fine. Now, I still say drive with caution this morning. You never know. Some areas may be wet or slippier than others, and it is pretty chilly this morning. As you can see, I'm in my Christmas attire and then my lovely Columbia insulated jacket this morning with my hood up, because that's just how it is. Now, for the weather forecast for this week, let me click on that right quick for you. And of course, our weather is being brought to you by Reddick Brown Ford, because without them, this would not be possible. But right now, currently in downtown McMinnville, it is 25 degrees, but it feels like 19 degrees. Now, the high today is going to be 36, and the low tonight will be 22. Partly cloudy conditions expected around 10 a.m. Wind gust will be up to 13 miles per hour, making the temperatures feel like 19 degrees. With that said, I don't see anything that's talking about any snow chances, but it's going to be cloudy again tomorrow with the low of 24, high of 52. Thursday, all sunny and bright. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, sunny and bright. And it's going to be high of 43 on Thursday, 39 degrees on Friday, and 50 topping out on Saturday, 50 degrees on Saturday. And of course, when there's snow, there is rain. And, like we've said, and I think in one year we had snow, thunderstorms, tornadoes, and sunny skies. Like, it's Tennessee weather, guys. Buckle up. So if you thought you winterized your closet, you may want to keep some of those spring pieces. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday of next week, they are saying there's chances of rain as high as 75% chance on certain days. So again, get all the necessary stuff you need out there, and we'll keep watching this as the weather permits itself. But again, it's just, it's going to be one of those weeks where it's going to be a little chilly. And of course, being tonight with the Christmas in the park, I think this weather is very fitting for it. And speaking of Christmas in the park, I cannot wait to see the Polar Express sponsored by Huff and Puff. They always have fake snow shooting out of it, which is really cool. So half of the downtown area is just covered in snow, and I absolutely love that because it's just amazing, and I love it. And are you ready yet? You just not? Okay. So with me, I'm so excited. I have the man that has been on everybody's mind this year. I have Mr. Santa Claus. Look at that. He's even brought you up.
Merry Christmas, Warren County. Merry Christmas, Kelly.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
Oh,
How are you?
may I?
Yes, you
Oh,
may.
yes.
I love
Good
it.
morning.
Good morning. I love
How
it.
is my friend?
I am doing great. My first question off the bat with this snow coming in, when you visit counties in general, do you just bring the snow with you?
Sometimes that happens.
I
It's
was
that
gonna-
Christmas magic. Everybody wants a white Christmas.
Exactly. It's the only way to do it. Now, are you going to be, what are you going to be doing this evening?
Oh, this evening is a very special evening in Warren County. And this is one of Santa's favorite events of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's sponsored by the ladies of the Junior Auxiliary.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to have Christmas in the park.
I love it. And again, if y'all don't know what Christmas in the Park is, make sure you check out the Junior Auxiliary Facebook page. They are putting all that information of all the entertainers, the performers, the activities. And if you did miss Flip the Switch, which is what the city of McMinnville put on Saturday, it was really neat seeing all the lights light up. And then I still want to say thank you to Security Federal Savings Bank. Each year they have been sponsors to this, the Mule Skinners, where people got to get in the horse and buggies and be, carted around town in those wagons. It's just the neatest little experience if you haven't done it yet. Have you got to?
Oh, I haven't got, well, of course I ride in a sleigh most of the time. So.
It's a little change up with the mules, right?
But no, McMinnville has such a beautiful downtown, and thank you to the Parks and Recreation Centers. Thank you to Mr. Hank Patton and his team for doing such a wonderful job and beautifying McMinnville and having that Christmas spirit.
Well, I've asked a couple of people, my friends, my circles, to ask many questions for you today if you got the time.
Oh, yes.
I prepared this time. So, first off, number one, Santa, can you tell us all about your daily routine at the North Pole leading up to Christmas? Because, it's a year-round job, right?
Yes, it is. And being Santa is almost like being president, if you can imagine that.
Okay, I could.
Because Santa can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. Santa has a wonderful team of advisors and elves with different specialties. And so Santa is actually has a concierge service that pushes him in the right direction.
I love that.
Because I can't be an expert in everything. Yeah. And guess what? Even Santa makes mistakes too.
Yeah, Santa's not perfect.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's why Mrs. Claus is there to keep you straight.
Yes. And that's,
I bet she's head of the concierge group.
Mrs. Claus, she's the engine that makes the whole thing work.
Yeah.
And Santa's just a figurehead. That's about it.
There you go. I love it. What do you enjoy most about your job?
Oh, my job is getting to bless people. Mm-hmm. I think it's not very different from anybody else's job. Yeah. Because in this world today, all we have is our relationships with each other.
That's right.
And so if I can bless you and you can bless somebody else, then it makes the world such a nicer and more lovely place.
It is. It's like a full circle. And I always say this, no matter if it's Christmas, whenever, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, spring, summer, whatever, I always try to put a smile on somebody's face, be that twinkle in someone's eye to, make them you never know what they're going through.
You never know. That's right.
Mm-hmm. So the other big thing that is everybody, I'm going to blow your mind away today. How do you keep track of all the gifts requests from children around the world?
Now,
yeah, I'm going to step back for this one.
Okay. Now, used to be when the world was much smaller,
Yeah.
Everything was handwritten.
Right.
The elves are on the cutting edge of the latest technology.
Yeah.
So they make sure that they have input services that reach around the globe. So 24 hours, 7 days a week,
Right.
the elves are constantly taking in data. We actually invented data mining that the big
Oh.
corporations use today
Well,
to
there
find out
you
all
go.
your personal information.
Oh, no.
Now, we only make sure that we use it as responsibly as we can.
Recreational use.
But
Yeah, you like that?
but sometimes we make mistakes too.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't get the right color of toy that they want, or bicycle, and sometimes it happens. But the thing is Christmas is not about the gifts that you receive. It's about the gifts you give.
Exactly.
And so that's why we have such a wonderful team, and Santa is so blessed. And Santa does use an iPad, and he also uses an Apple Watch.
Look, same. Look at that.
Thank you, Tim Cook, for allowing Santa to have this technology. And sometimes, even on those long flights, Santa likes to put in his ear pods.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes.
And unwind a little bit.
Unwind, because there's only so much Christmas music one can listen to.
Oh, see, Santa's keeping it real. I love it.
And sometimes Santa likes to rock out.
I love it. So, can you share a memory with us, or a moment, or an experience on delivering presents, like your most, like a good memory?
Oh, some of the greatest presents Santa can never give, but sometimes they work out where Santa can. And I had a little girl in a 3rd grade class that Santa was reading to, and she started sharing a story. And it all started when Santa was talking about what the elves do up at the North Pole. And so I'll tell you a quick little story about the elves.
Okay.
The elves are very funny, but they do things a little bit differently than what we do.
Right.
So have you ever played the game Pie in the Face?
Yes.
What a fun game.
Yeah,
Now,
it's messy, but yes.
The object of the game is not to be the one to get the pie in the face.
Correct.
But that's totally different in the elf world. See, the elves love to be the one who gets the pie in the face.
Yeah.
And so they get covered with whipped cream. That's the winner. And they take them and dunk them in chocolate milk and stir them around, and everybody licks the whipped cream off. It's the craziest thing. Elf humor.
No wonder why they're up all the hours. They got all that caffeine.
Oh, they love the chocolate, hot chocolate, hot cocoa. They love it. So as I was sharing what the elves do, this young lady, she started telling about her father. And her father, how he they played the game, and he was the one, or she was the one who got the pie in the face, and he kissed her and licked her off like a puppy dog, licked the whipped cream off her face, and she just started crying after that. And Santa knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And so later, when Santa got his picture with the class, the little girl came up to Santa and said, "Santa, can I tell you something?" And I said, "Yes, dear. What is it?" She said, "Can I whisper it in your ear?" I said, "Sure." So Santa bent down. And she said, "Santa, my father's a truck driver, and he's away in a foreign country, all the way in the Middle East. And I don't think he's going to be back for Christmas. And that's the only thing I want. It's for my daddy to be back for Christmas."
Yeah.
Oh, that tugged at Santa's heart. And Santa never forgot that little girl.
Yeah.
And Santa did everything he could to get her daddy back to her for Christmas. But in the spirit of that little girl, we have here in Warren County our own group of soldiers that have gone overseas for a deployment, and they won't be back for a while.
That's correct.
And so Santa got a phone call and said, "Hey, Santa, do you mind coming to a dinner that we're going to host for our troops this was last Christmas, because they won't be here the next Christmas." And Santa thought of that little girl and said, "I will do it in honor of that little girl." So Santa was able to bless other children and their parents in a time of need. So sometimes those great gifts, they come unexpectedly. And so Santa is very appreciative for the opportunity to be able to do something in the name of somebody else.
That's sweet. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. I love that. So, of course, there's so many challenges that you face. what are some of those challenges you faced during this holiday season?
Oh,
Because so is there bad snowstorms? Like, what have you been encountering? I can only imagine.
well, sometimes people get a little tense, even the elves. Not just a little, a lot of tense. And so making sure that the elves are okay, making sure that everybody understands that, yes, we're under pressure, but we always seem to pull it off.
Yeah.
And so we just think about the things that are most important. And that happens in our day to day. The people that we meet for the holidays, it's troubling for a lot of people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that this time of year is a sad time of year,
Yeah.
and they need to be comforted. They need to know that it's okay.
Mhm.
And so sometimes we need to evaluate the situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes Santa, he runs his mouth at the wrong time. That's why he has Mrs. Claus to correct him.
Oh,
and
I love
help
it.
him out.
I love it. And how do you decide which toys and gifts to bring to each child?
Well, most boys and girls let us know.
Yeah.
So we have Santas all over the world that are helping out to give Santa the real information.
Yeah.
So you might see a different Santa and a different looking Santa. We all work for the same person.
Yeah.
We work for you.
There you go. He wouldn't be as successful if it wasn't for you guys.
No.
That's what I always say.
And so, yes, but we still get a lot of letters. We get a lot of emails.
Yeah.
Santa also gets a lot of text messages.
I was going to say it's a new age.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
so many ways to communicate with people now.
So-
Videos, everything.
Oh, so with all that, it all compiles up into a database,
Mhm.
and each child has a specific profile,
Mhm.
and it lets us know their age,
Yeah.
if they're naughty or nice,
Yes.
what they want, and what they don't want. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you get what you don't want.
Yeah. Like it kind of deciphers what they need or what they want, right?
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Santa started understanding a few years ago that leaving coal and switches in people's stockings, they didn't get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you have to get them what they don't want.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. I love that. So, how do you and the elves manage to make so many toys in such a short time?
Oh,
Because I did say it's a year round. When do you start making the toys? How does this work?
we never stop.
Okay.
I mean, but we're like just about any organization. We take time off. for
You do
ourselves. Oh, we
vacations?
do vacations. Santa loves to garden in the summertime and loves to go visit our friends around the world. And
Yeah.
Santa has a book that he's written called Santa's Summer Break. And what a lot of young people don't understand is that when Santa is out of the red suit, you might just see Santa anywhere. You
Mhm.
might see him at church. You might see him at a ball game,
At the mall.
at the mall. You never know when you're going to see Santa. And same way with the elves. Now, the elves are a little harder, and especially my little elves, the elves on the shelf. Oh, we keep them at the North Pole. The world can only handle them for about 24 days.
Yes. Ours have been very naughty so far.
Oh, my goodness. I'll have to get onto those
Yeah.
elves when I see them tonight.
Dolly and Elfie.
Dolly and Elfie.
Hmm. They had a spa day yesterday.
Hang on. Bernard, did you get that? Dolly and Elfie. Then we'll do a report on them. Thank you.
There you go.
Sign out.
Love it. My son actually wanted to come and skip school to see you today.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I love Mr. Walker, and
Yeah.
you tell him that Santa can't wait to see him, and maybe we could sing a song or two together.
Yes. Well, he is going to be singing tonight. Speaking of that, he's going to be at the Christmas in the Park at 7:20, and he's going to sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and he's going to sing Little Drummer Boy.
Right.
Yeah, from Kings and Country.
Love
That's
King
a great.
and Country.
Mhm.
Oh, they're one of Santa's favorites.
Oh yes, and the Little Drummer Boy is a tradition for me and Walk to sing because that is my father's favorite song. Not the Kings and Country, the original, but me and Walker heard that song and we're like, we got to sing this for Papa every year. And so we try to do that each year. And I'm thankful that JA's not lost my number. But again, there's so many artists, taking a pause in the interview that's coming out tonight. You need to come out and see these folks, guys. Even if I think each person's singing about 10 or 15 minutes a piece. So that's about 2 or 3 songs each. And then, of course, Santa's going to be coming out tonight, escorted by some folks. And again, it's just a great time. And I want to say over and over, thanks to Hank and his amazing group of people that put the lights together, that found the tree. I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh, yes. And let's not forget Jason Gross with the sound machine.
Yes, he's going to be there
hard
tonight.
work that he's doing. And Holly Palumbo and all those ladies of JA that do such a wonderful job. And our Main Street McMinnville group, thank you so much for everything that you do with Joe Harvey and the Park Theater and all the wonderful shops along the way. We have such a beautiful time. And what I love about Christmas in the park, it doesn't matter where you come from.
No.
It doesn't matter how much money you make. Everybody gets to be a kid downtown.
I like how everybody's looking in the window to see you. It's like, oh, got to straighten up. I feel like when people see Santa, it's like, we're straighten up now. He's here. But with that said, of course, each year you go through everybody's houses and you get that cookie and milk. But what is your favorite cookie or snack that the children leave out for you?
Oh, Santa likes a lot of chocolate.
I was going to say, that diet.
Well, you have to work up an energy, you have a lot of energy going. So you have to work up an appetite, and you got to have high density nutrients.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
Sugar-filled
Yeah.
Cookies or food to keep the machine running.
Yeah, I love it.
And sometimes it's not all for me. Sometimes I take a little bit for the elves, and every once in a while, an elf will come down with me on a big gift or a big project, or if it's something special, because each elf actually watches over a couple different children, and sometimes they have a deep connection, and sometimes Santa has to pick up his elf on the shelves that he's sent out all over.
True.
And so it can get pretty wild in the sleigh.
I could only imagine. I hope the weather's good for you at least.
Well, we have a way of making sure that everything works out.
Okay.
We're very blessed. The good Lord takes care of us.
I love that. I love it. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Amen.
So can you tell us a little bit about your reindeer and how they help you on your journey?
Oh, well, the reindeer are so important. They're so vital, but we've made some modifications.
Mm-hmm.
We're not solely dependent on the reindeer, but we do have to have Christmas spirit to feel all our energy levels, all the magic that they need, because they're a big part of the equation. And even back at the North Pole, people think I just have about 9, maybe 10 reindeer. Oh no, Santa has thousands of reindeer.
I was gonna say.
And the reindeer come up, and every year the reindeer work really hard for all the different things that they take care of, all the process, and they have a big community too.
Yeah,
the reindeer, they have a lot of fun. They even play reindeer games.
I bet they do. Now, do you communicate with them, or how do you communicate with them?
Well, it's almost like with the elf on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
We have a magic communication where they can talk to me and Santa can talk to them. Sometimes we don't even have to say a word.
Oh,
so. Rudolph. He's up on top of the park theater looking at me.
Oh my gosh, there he is.
Yeah, it was a long climb down. But thank goodness they left a window open for old Santa.
Don't bother Joe and Ashley too much. They'll love that.
No.
So how do you feel about the changes in holiday traditions over the years? Because I mean, I'm not going to ask Santa how old he is, because that is not allowed. But I mean, you've done this for quite some time, a very long time. And, of course, starting out with the traditions, there was no toys. You handed out, was it oranges and something?
Oh, yeah. Well, for little children, we made straw dolls.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people don't understand is how much things have changed and evolved, and how blessed we are. We live in the greatest times. And here in the United States, it's not like the rest of the world. Some parts of the world, we can't get the right toys that we want to get down to them for all kinds of different reasons. And so sometimes things are more important than toys, like food. And even with people here in the United States, sometimes a hot meal will replace any toy that's ever given. So here and around the world, it's our job to help take care of each other. And so Santa has seen how the different things change back in the 20s and 30s, especially here in McMinnville. People didn't have a lot of money. This was a very poor but proud community, and everything that you generally had, you generally made yourself.
Correct.
So for Christmas, it was very special to receive things like oranges and fruits like bananas that you wouldn't normally get here at any other time of the year, because you couldn't grow it in this type of climate.
Correct.
So for a lot of my friends that even are still around today, they remember what life was like whenever it was simple. The thing was, the emphasis was put on the family and was put on giving. And most importantly, the emphasis was on Jesus Christ.
It was.
And so I love that you brought up Jesus, the reason for the season, because that's really why we celebrate Christmas. It's all about Jesus, and it's all about his coming into the world and all the blessing that he gives. So thank you for reminding our audience today about the real reason of Christmas.
I played Mary. Funny side note, I played Mary when I was about Walker's age, or maybe a little younger, over down here at oh my gosh, the church down here, that's the daycare.
First Presbyterian?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to go there at the daycare, and then they did the whole
nativity story.
And I was Mary, and I loved it. Yeah, first time I think I ever was on the stage, and I've never stepped off of it.
There you go.
And my son's the same way now. So Randy Jane, not so much, but that's okay. Of course, we've said this millions of times, but reiterate it. What message would you like to share with families this Christmas? Because you kind of already said it.
Be kind to one another. Be understanding, and understand that people have things that are going on that we can't see behind their eyes. There are people that are hurting. There are people that have lost loved ones. And so in the spirit, let's try to honor those that have gone before us. Let's try to figure out new and better ways to include more people, those that may not have families, because ultimately we are family. We are one creation. We are God's creation, and God's our creator. And so we want to continue to keep that in mind, especially when we're at the stores and at the malls and parking lots. That can be stressful. So Seth wants to encourage everyone to love one another and to remember what the true reason of this season is. It's the Spirit of Jesus. And we're so grateful for his coming into the world. And we're so grateful for the blessings that he gives. And so we want to share that with each other. So take time to remember each other, and remember to be kind and love each other, and to teach your children about the true meaning of Christmas.
Exactly.
It's not all about Santa and reindeer for sure.
No. He's just the highlight of it.
We're fun times.
You are. You're like the party man. It's like in the different way, though, Are there any, with everything said, are there any special places you enjoy visiting during your travels?
Santa loves to go to Africa.
Okay.
Santa loves, they don't have a lot of chimneys in Africa. So Santa is able to sneak into the huts in some places, but not all Africa is huts. That's the way remote regions of Africa. But Santa loves to go all over the world to see children. And really, it's about the heart. It's about the spirit of the child. And we're all children. So we can all carry that Christmas spirit with us. So Santa loves to feed off the energy of other people. And that's why Santa loves tonight with Christmas in the park, because there's going to be so much Christmas spirit here.
So much energy. Yes. I love it. I love it. And, speaking of that, a question that I just thought of right now on the spot. What do you tell people that are not believers? Because there are true believers, and then there's not.
Sometimes Santa says, "Happy holidays."
Okay, there you go. I love it.
But the thing is most of the world recognizes that this is a time of year to be thankful. And so here we have, from the agrarian society, we've gone through our harvest, and this is our time to be thankful for all the things that we've had over this year. there is a reason why we celebrate Christmas at the end of the year. And so in celebrating Christmas at the end of the year, and that's why Santa loves Advent in churches. The Advent calendar is such a beautiful thing because it puts things into perspective about Jesus and how he came into the world. And so we prepare for that, but we prepare for his second coming again. And so that's one of the things that we really want to remember is that everybody may not believe in Christmas. People may not believe in the holiday spirit, but you can still be kind to others. And that's the example that Jesus set for us is to love each other.
I love it. I love it. So the big question on everybody's mind, the last two that I can think of is how do you stay warm in the cold places when you deliver the gifts?
Well,
hot hands, maybe?
Santa has the very best gear, and the elves are on the cutting edge of the technology. And so between thermal underwear, we have the best thermal underwear.
Oh, yeah.
Heated jackets, heated mittens.
Okay.
We have the best of just about everything. So we're very blessed. But the elves, they keep working. You know, the elves had a little bit to do with NASA and launching the man to the moon. That's always been one of
their highlights.
The secret things about maybe Santa will write about his memoirs and talk about some of the amazing things that Santa and the elves helped and got to be part of in human history.
I love it. And lastly, of course, you know, you said that your job's year round, but what do you do after Christmas? Do you ever take a break?
Oh, yes.
And when you do, what do you do?
Oh, Santa takes big breaks. So when Santa gets home early on December 25th, Christmas Day, there is a huge festival at the North Pole. Everybody comes out. They fill the streets. All the elves celebrate. And then we all prepare for a big dinner. It's our big Christmas dinner. And there's one thing that Santa can't eat on Christmas Day.
What?
Milk and cookies.
Oh,
Santa is he's finished with milk and cookies for a long while. And so Santa doesn't even want to see any more milk and cookies.
I can imagine.
But we have a big feast, and then Santa and the elves take a long siesta. Santa will crawl up in bed, and Mrs. Claus will let him sleep. She'll let me sleep for days on end. And so in that, Santa gets to recharge, and I'm almost like a bear going into hibernation. And so, but when that first gust of warm air goes across the frozen tundra plain and the green starts sprouting out, Santa gets to work. I jump out of bed and I get excited because, we got to start planning for the next Christmas.
I love it. And again, guys, if y'all have any questions for Santa, you're welcome to ask me here at Warren First 931, and I'll call him up and ask him for you. And but again, is there anything I haven't mentioned? I do know that you are going to be making an appearance at the Park Theater.
Oh, yes. Santa's got some big shows planned at the Park Theater, especially on December 14th. Santa is going to do the Santa Sing-Along, and he's going to have some very talented guests with him. Going to bring some of the elves. And we may keep the reindeer on top. Mr. Joe Harvey and Miss Ashley and Miss Donna, they may not like the reindeer in the lobby of the Park Theater.
No dogs are allowed in there, so I guess no animals of any kind at this point.
We don't need any deer droppings in the lobby.
No surprises. No
surprises. So yes, that's December 14th. There will be a show at 3:00 and there will be a show at 6:00. Please make sure that you stick around and get your picture with Santa. That's going to be an awesome show. And tickets are only $5 for that.
Not bad at all, guys.
And they go to support the Park Theater and Warren Arts. So we're very blessed to have something like that in McMinnville. Also, this December 7th, this Saturday, the Christmas parade is going to be going on.
I'll be in it as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise. Now, you're singing tonight, right?
I am singing tonight.
Now, what are you singing?
I'm going to sing Silent Night, the Kelly Clarkson version. And I'm going to sing The Drummer Boy with my son.
Awesome.
So we do a duo with that one, a duet.
That's
Yeah.
great.
He loves doing that stuff. And as a parent, and as you've seen kids grow up, parents are very heavily influences on their kids. And if your child wants to do something, let them, because that's the only way they're going to succeed, by trying something. And if it works or if it fails, because they learn from those hard learned lessons.
Yes.
And so again, but that starts tonight at 6:00, where the mayor's going to be there. Judge Ryan J. Moore will be there doing the announcing, and we'll flip the switch, as I say, once again, for all the lights to turn on. All the businesses are participating in tonight's event. Again, I have to do another shout out to Huff and Puff for bringing the Polar Express coming down on this end of the street. I think they're going to set that up in front of the library. But make sure you check out all the shops. I know that a lot of shops on Flip the Switch shut down at 5. Some of them did shut down at 5 so they could see, the lighting of the stuff. But make sure you go and visit each individual shop and just take a walk. The roads will be closed on this end, like right here in front of the Brax Cookies and the library, like always, so there can be through traffic. So if y'all have any more questions about it, you can contact Junior Auxiliary, Holly at Palumbo and all them to answer any of your questions. I don't think they're taking any last minute vendors. I know over the weekend they did. But again, it's the bet to me. Flip the Switch was great. But it just gets even better when Christmas in the park, because it's just going to be a magical night.
Oh, yes, it is. And one of the things for your viewers, I was wanting to know, what do they really enjoy doing as far as what are their traditions? Now, I know some of them can't be here live with us, like all the other followers, but we would encourage you, because Santa wants to know what you like. What are your things that you enjoy to do for the holiday season?
Well, what we do with my family is we always get together. There's several actually things we do, because as you have stated, that, Christmas is all about family, and with family comes traditions. And one of them being every morning, I go to my mom. As an adult now, we go to my mom's house, and my mom would make the absolute best breakfast, and everybody got what they asked for. And that was kind of like my Christmas gift, is like spending time with the family and with the loved ones that are still here with us. That's the big thing, is to celebrate the people that are still with you before they go, because we did lose my father. It's been about 3 years, but we celebrate him in a different way now. That being said, when Junior Auxiliary asked us to sing, me and my son dedicate that song to my dad, because Little Drummer Boy was his favorite song. So I think the best medicine for any people that have lost a loved one is to create a tradition in memory of them, because that, or in honor of someone, whatever the case may be. Because singing that song, Walker says every time, and it gets me every time. He's like, Papa's with us. And losing a father or a family member, and I'll get emotional about it because it's the holidays, so this will be the only time I cry about it. But it's happy tears, because I wouldn't want my dad going through what he went through at the end of chemo and cancer. Cancer is a bad thing, but when you lose a loved one, and we have actually lost a lot of people this year, just a few months ago, and it's tough, but you can find a way to celebrate them. There's a man on the highway. I've already seen him. I don't know if it's his wife, his mother, his aunt, but he has already come to the gravesite and has lit this torch that is always lit up at night. It's always flaming. It's a constant flame. It's the neatest thing. If you want to do something like that, if you want to do a sing thing, if you want to do a breakfast every morning. The other thing that I do that I really love doing with my family is on Christmas Eve night, after we do all the family celebrations and stuff, me and my cousins, we wear matching pajamas, and we just eat finger foods and play old school games like Clue and yes, Battleship. We played that one time. Operation, Candyland. We do Uno. You just find games and things that you do as a tradition. And this year, our theme is the Grinch. So, hence why I have my Grinch shirt on, because I had a feeling you're going to ask about traditions today. And so, with that said, find that tradition in your family that you can continue on, because we're going to do crafts and activities. That's what we always do. We make cookies for Santa, which will be sugar cookies this year.
Oh,
Little spoiler.
Oh, excellent.
And they're going to be Grinch themed. Yeah. And this year we actually are implementing a new thing we call it the Stubblefield and Slaughter Christmas Eve party. We are going to paint our version of actually this Grinch hand, and everybody's going to hand draw it and paint it. And then we're going to put it on the social media for people to vote. Yeah, it's going to be a doozy this year, so I can't wait. But I did put out there, if you a couple days ago, share us some of your family traditions, because I would love to hear them. And maybe it's something somebody might use or adapt. Be like, that's a good thing to try.
Yes. Please share in the comments, even if you can't do it until next week.
Yes,
please put in the comments what you enjoy about Christmas. What are your things that you like to do? Oh, Santa loves reading these things.
Oh,
and Santa loves Warren First 931. I love going back and looking at the things, even if I can't be on live.
Yeah.
I love to go back and see what's going on, what's been talked about. Because this is actually getting to meet and know your neighbors and getting to know what's going on in the community.
I agree.
And thank you so much for sharing about your father. That's such a beautiful tribute.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, and even Santa's had people that he's lost at the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And so being able to honor those people, and that's what it starts off with. If you think about the baby Jesus, we want to honor Jesus for what we do. But guess what? Some of the first people in the Bible that we read about honoring Jesus are the wise men. And they came and they brought presents for the baby Jesus. And so that's what we want to do, is we want to honor each other by giving gifts of love. And so for those that are no longer with us, we can still give a gift on their behalf. Santa, long ago, when Santa lost his grandmother, Santa's grandmother was a wonderful, wonderful cook, and she lived up on a mountain, kind of like these mountains over here. And after she passed away, Santa decided he was going to honor her memory. And so Santa tried to make some pies. Santa is not the cook.
I was going to say, you're not grandma's pie maker, are you?
No. But Santa was able to take pies to the people that loved his grandmother the most. And so Santa loves to do that. And so Santa wants to encourage you all to, even if you're at a restaurant, leave a kind, generous tip in honor of somebody. They don't have to know who it is, but you know. And so honoring each other.
I agree.
That's what Christmas is.
It is. And it's like you said in one of your questions, like the reason we celebrate Christmas at the end of the year, I also feel like it's not just Jesus. It's just, like you said, it's all of us getting together and finding that wholesome, loving, caring, nurturing, getting back together with all the stuff that has gone through 2024, the highs and the lows. This is a time to let all that go and be together. Just be present. I always say that. Don't give a present, be present. That's my saying, and my son does it all the time. And if you see somebody struggling, there are many programs out there that can help people like that. And if you want to know them, tell me, and I'll give you the information. Speaking of, we talked about people, and instead of toys, they might want food. Perry's Food Ministry is one of the most amazing ministries I have seen thus far. It's 25 years in the making. He's been doing this for over that time, but he's in the campaign area, and between him and his volunteers and the Feeding America and all that, he gives people food. It doesn't matter what status you are, but if you need help, if you're struggling, you go to those people.
Yes.
There's no judgment there.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to give a shout out to a young man named Gannon Richardson.
Okay.
And Gannon runs a Tuesday night feeding service over at the Rock, and he's the minister of
nice.
the Three Rivers Baptist Church out in the Campaign Rock Island area.
Yeah.
And he does that every Tuesday night, and it's such a blessing that these people, because in McMinnville, it's so sad.
Mhm.
We have so many more community members that are homeless
Yeah.
and don't have a place to go and can't afford to have a hot meal. So at this time of giving, those ministries could use a lot of help.
Yeah.
So keep in mind these people. Mr. Perry's food ministry.
I love that. I'll make you some pies, Santa, Derek said.
Now, I've had some of Mr. Derek Coates' pies.
I have not.
Oh my goodness. Can that man cook?
Oh.
He's the only Englishman I know who can cook.
Oh, well, there you go, Derek.
Around here.
With that from Santa, you can't go wrong if you need a pie this year.
That's what Santa loves about being able to travel around the world, is that Santa can meet wonderful people like Mr. Derek, who didn't grow up here, is from another country all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, and can experience the wonderful gifts that he brings to our community. And so that's what we need to see, is find the things that are different, but that makes people special, and grow and learn and challenge each other to,
there it is.
to understand we all didn't grow up the same. Even Santa and Mrs. Claus didn't grow up the same. And so we have differences, but these differences we can celebrate. Now, we want to take the good things and take those traditions. And for Santa, he wants to pass those on to the elves, because Santa won't be here forever. And Santa doesn't want to be here forever. Santa believes in something greater than this world. And so Santa's excited to go on with the other ones that have gone on before us. So let's take a time to understand, have an understanding heart, and to give to others, and to realize that there are those that are struggling this year, but we have an opportunity to lift each other's spirits. Just being kind, a hug, a prayer, a gift, a kind word, something small. Again, like I said, just leaving an extra amount on your tip when you tip somebody. People who generally work for tips, they
don't get paid much.
They generally depend on those tips. And at this time of the year, they have bills and children too that are in need of things as well. So please be loving and kind to one another. Enjoy. Be present.
Be present.
Be the present.
Be the present. Do you like that? I think you're going to steal that from me, aren't you?
Be the present. I want to be a present to the world.
You are a present to the world.
Well,
that's why you are the face, the beacon everybody looks at. Because when I knew you were coming, I was so excited. I was telling Walker, I was telling my little girl Randy, I was like, y'all aren't going to believe, but Santa's coming tomorrow. And then, of course, Randy Jane can't, she's getting there saying Santa, but she's like, oh, ho, ho, he's coming. So, but again, it has just been such a true blessing to have you here on the show. And I want everybody to know that there are many, like he said, opportunities to be present in some type of nonprofit, a community event, helping the homeless. There are tons and tons and tons of things going on between now and the end of this month to help a nonprofit in need. And I cannot go through all of them. That's why they're on Facebook and they're on Instagram and they're in the newsletter. The newsletters are going to be picked up as soon as I leave here with Santa. But again, you can pick them up in any 20 plus locations. You can see that on social media. If you want a digital copy of it, you can get that as well as texting me at 931-305-0869 and just type in local voice with your email attached to it. But again, thanks to Lanisa. She said there's a community table every Tuesday night at the Rock Building on First Baptist Church campus. Starts at 6 p.m. I know Brad Durham messaged me yesterday, which is also on the calendar. They're having a program for the homeless here at the Park Theater. I know that our newest Warren County Fair, so the fair pageant is going to be at this weekend's Christmas in the Village, and she's helping raise funds for home.
All right.
And so, I mean, there's so many organizations. And if you go to our Facebook page specifically, I did put out there, any calling all nonprofits, businesses, and things like that, because I didn't want to miss any. But you can see there's a list of tons of comments on there of nonprofits and businesses trying to help something. Find one. And I tell you this, guys, and Santa can agree with me on this. If there's there's 40 nonprofits that need help, if everybody in this entire community, because we have over 40,000 people that live here, if each individual person gave $1 to each person, you know how much money they would have? I mean, it's endless. Just $1. And I will say this to the people that give the money and help out and volunteer. Thank you for being a mover and a shaker in this community, because things would not get done without you. And you are a present to this community.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of anything else before I let people go.
There are two more
Okay.
that I'd like to.
Okay.
It revolves around children.
Okay.
And so I would really love to give a special shout out to Miss Lady, Lisa Harvey, and the Hamilton Street Homework Club.
Yes.
They do a lot of things around Christmas time, and they need sponsors. And Mr. Barry Dishman and his family, Miss Christy Allison, and all the wonderful people at Kids of the Community, they're taking donations and sponsoring children for Christmas this year. And these are children that are part of this community that we see each and every day. And because these two programs work with these children and keep these children off the streets,
they do
try to keep them fed and try to keep them engaged in a normal and very
positive,
yes, very positive program, and advancing them. We want to I just had to tell about these programs and thank Miss Lisa and thank Mr. Barry and all the wonderful people that volunteer. There's a lot of young people that are helping out with these programs as well.
And some kids that were in the program are now helping in the program.
Yes.
Which it's a full circle there.
Yes.
As you talked about earlier.
And they learn a lot of life skills as far as helping each other and doing a job that services each other. So we're very grateful for these two organizations. And there's probably more that Santa doesn't know about, but those two in particular are making a huge difference in the community of McMinnville. So thank you both for what you do.
Thank you, guys. And with that said, it has been a blast hanging out with Santa. I hope everybody enjoyed today's podcast. I won't see you, of course, again until Thursday, but please make plans and come out tonight and show your child how invested they need to be in the community by coming to events like Christmas in the Park. Junior Auxiliary of McMinnville is a whole nonprofit. They do this on volunteer base. Yes, Miss Lady is precious. Thank you, Miss Lady and Mr. Dishman. Yes, for the work in the community. But again, they cannot do this without you guys. And me and Santa can say this over and over and over and over again. You've got to be present in this community if you want to see it moving forward. You have to be a part of every little aspect. If there's something that you see, there's a chink in the chain or a pipe needs to be fixed, well, call that person in and see how to help and fix it. If you don't like how the chairs are displayed at church, well, instead of being a hater, be a chairperson. That's what I always say. But with that said, take care. God bless. Also, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And from me to you, remember, Warren County, keep it first. Bye, guys.